Okay, there we go. I started a bit early just because I can. Okay, that I'm gonna be over. I'm gonna be over there for a bit. I'm gonna be over there for a bit, yelling at the camera. So we'll see where everything's at. Hi, I had a really cool idea. I'll reassure you that I've got multiple of that panel. I've got a bunch of them, so I can afford to lose one. And I'm doing a thing, and I'm doing a thing. Anyway, I have a bunch of ironing to do. That's why I went ahead and started early because I got some ironing to do. So I'm going to be over there for a bit anyway, but I'll be back and forth. This might not be a very chatty video today just because I've got, I don't know how much ironing I've got to do. I don't think it's going to be bad. But anyway, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this guy and I'm going to explode it. I'm going to explode it. And then, so I'm going to cut it up into triangles, and then I'm going to explode them out, and then I'm going to like sew them down like applique. And I don't know if I'm going to like the effect or not. If I don't like the effect, I'll be stopping. And if I don't like the effect, I'll skip the sewing. Actually, if I don't like the effect, I'll probably sew it down to some black. If I do like the effect, if I like the effect, it's going to get sewn onto this, which is part of the set, coordinating fabric. If I'm dubious, I'll sew this onto like I've got extra black and stuff like that. If I'm dubious about how it's going to look, I'll sew it down onto black so I can get a look at the final product without committing. I don't have very much of this. I've got black out the wazoo, so I'll figure it out. Anyway, as always, comment to me, chat among yourselves. We're just all here to hang out. I've got to iron this first. Hi, Bruno. What's my puppy doing? And then presuming that I like the overall effect, it's going to be the center panel in a quilt that should be pretty quick and easy after everything else is taken care of. But I need this piece ironed first. I've never done it before, so I don't want things moving around. So that means iron everything up first. Go from there. Plug in the iron. That would help. Come on. Nothing like making it awkward. But anyway. There it is. Okay. Apparently the star of the show today is going to be a regular school glue stick. This is just a cheap glue stick because these guys are water soluble. So you do your thing, and then once you wash your quilt for the first time, it just all goes away. Okay. It's gonna be a minute. I'm mostly worried about the center seam here. There. There, that's done. And it's just going to live there until I'm ready to use it. Okay. So I have this. This is the guy I'm cutting up today. But not to fear, because I've got extras. I've got extras. I've got the full piece. So if I screw it up, I can still make it out of something else. Oh, that's okay. Hi, Linda. How you doing? Yeah, so I am going to basically explode this out. And then I'm going to put it on that fabric that's already been ironed on the ironing board. I'm going to do that applique style. And then I'm going to trim the edges so that I've got a whole mood going here. That'll work. I've got a whole mood going here. I just needed to arrange everything first because I don't want it to be a big mess when I'm done. But anyway, so I'm gonna fold it here. I just want my center point. Just want my center. I'm going to go right down this center line that I just made. If I can find it again. There it is. Yeah. I need to not think too hard about this or I'll fuck it up from overthinking, right? So now I go like that. I gotta make that a little more solid. That one's off. Let's put that over there for now. So I'm not going to do a pattern. I'm just going to work for my center and make random cuts. got a little chunk out of this. Okay. That's my center, but I'm going to go a little past it. They don't have to be perfect. I just have to basically I have to make sure I stay in the sequence and not get them out of sequence, which is not something I usually do. Usually I'm working with stuff that is a lot more forgiving, so I'm being a little careful so that I don't fuck it up. Go a little closer to that. And I'm going to go right down that. Okay. Now, need to move this one. They're going to have to overlap a little bit or they won't fit on the ruler, but they're in order, and that's all I need to care about. I'm just using this as like a spatula to pick this stuff up. These ones the ones at the top can be a little bit, actually, maybe I should just, okay, that's there. Where can I put them? Oh, there we go. I just got to look for a flat spot to put them, because I'm going to need to put the other one somewhere when I'm done the other side. Well, I thought about this, and like I said, I've got 2 extra Stonehenge panels right here. I think, and I know for a fact I've got more in the bedroom. So I'm just trying to keep my cuts towards the center. I'm gonna flip this around. If I don't maintain similar orientation, I'm going to be very upset. There it is. I find that if I shift it just the tiniest bit, then everything stays together. But it's hard, the camera's not going to pick this up, but I get a little teeny tiny line, so I don't have to worry about my, I don't have to worry about coming in and accidentally, because you gotta see through the ruler and all that stuff. This one's actually going to do really well to go right close to that. One, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm not counting. I'm actually hoping for different numbers at each section. That one's pretty narrow. Oh, yep. It's only been 500 years. It's probably time for a new cutter. I got a little, here it is. I got a little shred of plastic that came off of the that over time you slice out little bits here and there. And that's fine. Over there. There's a lot on the top on this piece, and we'll leave that one as is. Okay. I should have just done this on the first piece. That's okay. Oh, that's narrow. That's okay. It can be narrow. As long as I keep it in order. Do. Okay. That one is going to have to go sit on the same giant spatula piece. There we go. Okay. Now, if I need to adjust anything, I've got the cutting mat that's on this table. So I don't have to worry about that. Ideally, this is going to be super simple. Ideally, I'll be ready to sew in about another 5 minutes, and then that's just going to sit and sew. Okay. Get this guy out of the way because I don't need it. Figure out about the halfway point on this guy. About. It doesn't have to be perfect because that's the whole purpose here. Okay. There it is right there. Yes. We're going to eyeball it and get it about halfway onto the table. About. It doesn't have to be perfect. Okay. Already spot. Okay, no. We're good. Okay. Let me see if I can get this a little higher for a better view for anybody who might Okay, so of course, first thing that happens, what the heck happened here? It shouldn't be doing that. It shouldn't be this bad. Come on, look at this. This is crazy. Look at that. I don't know. I'm wondering if I've. Okay, I've turned. There's a setting that I've hit. I'm gonna do that. Do that. I hit a button. I hit a button. There we go. Which one is that? I hit a button by mistake. So we're going to remove that one. I hit a button by mistake, which means that I ended up closing that camera. I've just got to reopen it, but I think there's a setting that's trying to auto. I think there's an auto setting that's trying to happen here. Okay. Do that. Got to add that one. Oh, I closed the wrong one. Okay, this is. Hey Trish, how you doing? I hit a button. I did something. Ended up hitting a button and closed out one of my cameras, and the camera that I have on right now just decided it doesn't want to focus properly. So now I gotta sort this out. Only gonna take a minute. Yeah, I thought so. None. There we go. That's the one. That's the one that we want. So we can remove that one. We can. Yeah, it should be fine in a second. Take that one away. There we go. There's a blur effect. It was accidentally turned on, but come on. You can do it. Do. Okay. It said no, then it said, sure, we'll recognize this camera. Okay, that's right. Now we'll do that. See, everything's fine. I fixed it. Yeah, no, I hit a button and I closed the camera completely and then had to bring it back. I brought it back and didn't realize that the one setting was turned on. So I just had to redo it. Okay, so I've got that ready to go. I'm basically doing applique today. Which one is it? That one needs the... If you're still, there might have been an echo for a minute. If you're still hearing an echo, let me know. But I think I fixed that as well. Okay, so I have my handy dandy. This is purple and it's supposed to dry clear and it's washable. Because I have a feeling. Where's my needles? Pins, needles, whatever. We don't care. Yeah, the echo was my fault while I was switching back and forth and sorting out the cameras, because that was just an extra layer. It's easy. The echo is easy to fix once everything's ready to go. It's like, okay, here we go. Now just click. But yeah, I had some weird blur effect turned on by mistake. Anyway, so I shouldn't put that there because this is apparently my accident day. So I just got done cutting. Basically this. I took this Stonehenge, which I have a big one. I have a big Stonehenge. Well, I took it and I trimmed it down, made it shorter. I made it shorter so it's a little bit taller than that. I made it shorter, took off these borders on the edge. And I've got more of these. So if I wreck one, I still got more. So I'm going to explode it and we'll see what it looks like. So I got it all cut up here. I'm going to turn it so you guys can see as well. This is multi-directional, so it doesn't matter. Goes there. That goes there. Okay. This is where we cross our fingers and hope that I didn't completely ruin it. So I said that the center was about here. So we're just going to... I'm just going to lay everything out. That goes there. That's the outside up here. I think it's already like pretty much... How did I do this? I gotta set something heavy here. Just try. Nah, it'll be fine. Okay. Here we go. So basically, what I'm gonna do is I'm exploding it out. And I don't know if this camera's picking it up well or not. I was hoping to get a better camera view. I'm gonna be in the way, but I'm spreading it out. Definitely going to be in the way of the camera for a couple minutes over here. Okay. This one here, I did a little... I did not cut them with any particular size in mind. So that's part of it. Thank you. I'm glad I got the view done right. Okay, so now it's okay if I have to move some of these closer to each other. This is the part, okay, this is all going to get sewn down. But first I have to do this and get everything. Oh, I think I'm happy with this. Okay, so I wanted bigger pieces on the bottom because you still want to be able to tell that it's a Stonehenge, right? Okay. That one and then that one. So this is the entire thing and everything's spread out just a little bit, right? So that's what it's looking like right now. Okay. Now the trick is, it needs to look like an explosion. So it's kind of oblong right now, but I've got this much space on either side. But I do not want them to be even. So I want some in, some out. That can stay towards the center. This can come out a bit. See what I don't know. I'll get the camera back up in a bit and you can see what I'm going for. Actually, that one can stay out. This one can go into nice and narrow. These ones are going to come off the edge a little bit. But they're not all going to the same position. This one's going to come a little bit more to the center, and so is that one. This one can come back, center, back, center. Oh, this is going quick and beautifully. Okay, I know it's not going to be, okay, I know that when I'm done, if I have stuff that's drifting too far in one direction, I don't have to worry about that because when I'm done, I can square it up. I just have to make sure. So it can be a little bit more on this side than that side. That can go there. That can go there. That can be almost in the center. Now, the trick is, does it still look like a Stonehenge? I don't think it does. This is where you have to be able to be brutally honest. Does that still look like Stonehenge here, or do I have to be symmetrical? I think I have to be. I don't know. I mean, I like the effect because I know it's a Stonehenge and I will recognize it immediately forever. I'm not sure. Let's try this first. Let's try this. I'm gonna bring everything back in. I'm gonna try and get the camera set up nicely. I don't have to force this to work. So I'm gonna bring this back in. I'm gonna line everything up normally. Oh wait, okay. See, now you can tell that this is Stonehenge, right? I think I just have to make my explosion a little smaller. I don't think I'm going to be able to do a big explosion. I don't think this is the kind of fabric that can. I don't think this got a strong enough design to handle it. Okay, so this will still work because let me just get this settled in and see what I think now that it's a little bit more tighter. A little bit more tighter. More tighter, more. Oh, this will look nice. Okay. Okay, these two are not as close together as they could be. Okay, so now it'll take a little bit of tweaking. I still want the center to be a little open, right? Oh, the camera did the thing. Boy, refocused on my ass. Okay. So that's the Stonehenge. This will still look really good because what I'm going to do is I'm going to go at about 1/4 inch all the way around. I'll do a couple of rounds per, right? I'll go at about 1/4 inch all the way around. And then all of these edges, I'm going to like trim them up so that they get really frayed and raggedy. So it'll be just as good, but I don't think I can pull it out as far as I want it. I can pull it a little bit. Yeah, I can do that. I can pull it out a little bit, but I don't think I can pull it out. So I'm gonna have to go around a couple of times. I don't care if it's perfectly centered. I don't care if it's perfectly round in the center, because when I sew up into those tips are gonna, for the most part, disappear anyway. So let me just sit down for a second and think. Let's see. Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Some in and some out. But I think that the bigger explosion is just too big, and you stop being able to tell what it is. So, where is it? I know I haven't already put it in a thing. Yeah. Okay. Okay. Do you guys remember this one that I did? I did this a long time ago, right? I haven't washed it yet. All these edges, once this is washed for the first time, all these edges are going to get really puffy because they're all going to fray out. And let me see if I can do one on purpose. They're going to get really frayed out, and they're going to look like that. So that's the whole idea for this, is that when I go around, but I'm also going to lose, I'm going to lose 1/4 inch to my seam allowance all the way. I'm going to lose 1/4 inch to my seam allowance all the way around. I'm going to lose 1/4 inch seam allowance. And if there's already little gaps, and I'm going to lose 1/4 inch seam allowance, I should have about 1 inch all the way around each one. I'm gonna use my glue and a couple of pins to hold everything down. I'm gonna have to pin the whole thing in place. I'm gonna have to get over there with my chair and pin the whole thing in place before I really get started, because we're not gonna. If I'm up and over every couple of seconds doing each piece at a time, eventually it'll start drifting, because that's just I know that that's gonna happen, because that's just how I roll. But I think they do not need to be perfectly symmetrical. That is not the look I'm going for. Because this one's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 on this quarter. This quarter's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I did not want a symmetrical look, so I didn't. Yeah, you can see I didn't measure. I cut them oriented towards the center, but I did not measure any of these for width. I didn't measure any of that. So far it's doing what I want. Linda approves. Yeah, so far it's doing what I want, but I don't think I can make it as big as I want. I wanted to make it a bigger explosion, and I don't think I can do that. So, but yeah, I think some of these can be a little bit further out. They just have to be a lot closer than I thought I was going to be able to get away with. But these tiny, yeah, these guys are really close together. But then once I come down here to the center, like, I'm going to lose more than 1/4 inch off of each point. So I'm going to have a nice empty spot in the middle. That has to come out to there. That has to come out a bit. It doesn't have to be perfectly square. I don't want it to be perfectly square, but I also don't want it to be super fucked up, because that's not straight. Mind you, I can straighten. If I'm stuck with a tiny explosion, If I'm stuck with a tiny explosion, maybe I should turn it. I'm going to have a lot of waste. Well, no, I don't have to care. I don't have to care. Let's just get this in here. Because if I have a little bit of extra stuff going on at the sides, then I can, if I have a little bit extra stuff going on the sides, then I can leave like a 6-inch all the way around. And that gets me most of the way into a quilt that I'm going to, into a quilt top. I just want to get these somewhat straight. Not perfectly, just somewhat. There we go. Yeah, most of this is going to disappear. Most of it is. There we go. Yeah, this is a little bit overlapped, which is fine. That can come out to here. That can come out just a little bit further. That can come out to here. I can start hacking and coughing for no particular reason. So how's everybody else doing, by the way? Every time, without fail, I come on. Linda's making dinner, so she's busy. I know that. Okay. Oh, and that still looks like a Stonehenge. Whoop. That still looks like a Stonehenge. Okay. I have not done glue sticks before, so we'll see how that goes. Okay, so now the other issue to resolve. The other issue to resolve, if I do a 1/4 of an inch and do the thing, that's going to look fine. But if I zigzag it, if I do a zigzag all the way up, if I do zigzag all the way up and out again, I don't have to lose this center. So now I got to sort. Now I got to make a decision where that's concerned. This is kind of, well, I don't mind that it's not perfectly round. I like it. I like it. I like it. But yeah, now I have to decide between, because if I do this, then I lose like that much per. I think it'd be cool if oh, you know what? I'm going to do it. I'm going to take my chances. I'm going to do it because I've got extra. Okay, there we go. Now, this stuff is just kids' school glue. Washable school glue stick. So I guess I just go. Never used it before, so if I'm fucking something up, just let me know. I'm just gonna do a couple at a time, make sure they're where I want them. I'm also gonna pin. I'm also gonna pin them, but it's gonna be really important that this shit doesn't move. That once I find a position that it stays there. Yeah, I'm just gonna do that. You can still reposition on it. Yeah, I think I like doing this better. I guess I'm gonna have to okay, I'm not sacrificing a glove. I'm gonna have to wash a glove. Where did I start? Right there, right? Yeah, I started there. Ah. I don't mind that it's going to be a little thicker. That's kind of part of the fun. This isn't bad. It's going down. Okay, like I said, I'm going to be going back over this with pins before I actually start sewing. I just wanted to make sure that it's in place. I want to make sure it's in place so I don't knock things out of place as I'm working through it later. It's smoother to do it right on the table. I'm doing this because I can't, the glue stick is wider than the tip that I'm trying to glue down, so. Do. Can't see it? What can't you see? Oh, shit. There we go. There we go. Okay, so I'm just putting glue stick right on the fabric. This is a kid's glue stick. It's kids glue stick. It's supposed to be fully washable. So I can use this combined with pins to make sure I have something that's not going to move, because I'm also going to pin it. I just want the obvious glued down. Yeah, sorry. I did a disclaimer when I first came on that because I'm going to be working on this, I'm going to be having my back to the camera and not seeing stuff, but why not, right? Yeah, the glue stick is wider than these tips, so I'm getting a nice smooth gluing experience going right onto the table. It's a little bit more awkward doing it this way, but I want to get close. I don't need to get the exact tip, but nice thing about the glue too is it doesn't dry immediately. You've got plenty of time to move things around. But I'm gonna pull up a chair and come back with some pins and do it correct. Do it. Yeah. Apparently, I don't know if this is true. Maybe Linda knows. I know you're busy, Linda. Maybe this is information you can drop for me later. But apparently, if you zap it with an iron right quick, the glue will set. It still washes off later, but it will set better and be a stronger hold. I don't know. Okay, now these guys have to be shifted just a little bit. It's not the end of my world, but this is another reason why I wanted to use the glue stick, is because then it's going to be easier to do little adjustments. Now I also have to decide what I'm using for my thread. And I'm actually debating on using red thread because it's clashing, but it would accentuate the idea of an explosion. I could also use black. That's what's going on. These guys just need to be tugged into the center a little bit more. Let's see if I can do 3 at a time. That would make it a lot easier. Oh yeah, I can do all 3 of these at the same time. If I want it all over my hands, that is. Which I don't really care, so there's that. I know I did the wrong end first, but that's okay. I'm going to line up the center first on this one. Go. Yeah, I don't care if they're properly rounded. It's a little oblong. I am agonizing over it. I'm agonizing over the oblong because I hope it doesn't wreck the final effect. But I don't think it can. I don't think I need to worry too much about that. Okay. Couple down there, one on each side. Go into the center. Yeah, I need to do one at a time. This is fun. Feels like, remember in school where it's like they give you the glue stick and it's like that's all you want. I just want to glue things, man. I don't care what happens to anything else. Oh, there's an unintended side effect is that I'm able to keep my lines nice and straight. I don't feel like I've used a lot of glue though. I had a feeling I was worried that I was going to go through like most of the stick just getting halfway through. When you see them doing it on various videos and stuff, it looks like they're using like, it looks like they're just using most of a stick. Hey, I know you're going to disappear. You know you're going to disappear. Don't mind me, I'll walk back once in a while. I'll walk back once in a while just on the off chance that there's other comments, but I'm not going to be butthurt if you guys chat among yourselves and don't chat with me because I can only respond so much today anyway. Okay, that's... I already did that. I already did that when I can feel it pulling. That's the first one I did, so I'm actually almost done. It's not bad. It's not taking as long as I thought it was gonna. I've never used glue sticks before for making a seam, so yeah, it's okay if the whole center disappears. I think most of that. Okay, you've got your standing stones, and then you got that one section where there's some stones, the topping stones. I think I'm probably gonna lose a bunch of that because all these tips are gonna fray away. But I think we're okay with that. We can still tell what it is. And that's all I wanted out of this little project. Okay. No. Don't do that. You don't want to do that. I'm gonna throw these in the wash and get a fresh pair out though as soon as I'm done here because I can feel my gloves trying to stick to the fabric. Which makes sense. Okay. 2 left, and they still fit. Now we can pull this one out a little bit. There we go. This one's a corner one, so it's got like a bit of a longer end to it. There we go. That's what. Yeah, definitely have to get out different gloves because I will. All this gluing will be for nothing if I'm not. So obviously, if you don't use, obviously if you're like I'm gonna do this, or I'm gonna start using glue. The glue stick is working really. I know people do the entire thing in glue stick. I'm not worried about that. I could definitely have gone through the entire glue stick though if I decided I wanted to glue down the entire thing. Okay, and double check. Yep, that one's, oh, it's drying too. It's already drying, so it's gonna hold. Okay. I guess I'm putting that away because I don't need it anymore. Why are you still on? I don't know if iron. Okay, glove. Deal with the glove. Be right back. This is why I don't throw away the gloves even when the staining starts. Let's get out another stained glove. This one's if it's in the drawer, it's clean. It's been washed. But this actually isn't too bad where the staining is concerned because I work with how much black do I use? Like 80%? I use tons of black. Okay. I'm pulling up a chair and making my ass comfortable. I don't know if you guys are gonna, you know what? I'm gonna stay here and be in the way, guys. Sorry. I'm gonna stay in the way. So I've got the ends pinned down. I think I can get away with just one pin in the middle. As long as these aren't moving. Yeah, they're not moving. Let's put one in the middle first. Hate pinning. Always hated pinning. I always hated pinning, and as long as the main section goes where I want it to go, I think I'm okay if this does some fucked up stuff. And I can stop, as long as everything is being held down properly-ish, I can come back later and do whatever I need to do. So now I need to decide. Basically, I've got brown, green, orange, blue. I don't want to switch my color every 5 minutes. I want to pick one color. I want to pick one color. I want to pick one color, but I don't think I should pick black because that's not going to look good on the top. I might pick orange because there's orange in every even these pieces have at least a little bit of orange, either orangey tones on the stones or the orange in the sky. Even this blue has orange in the sky. I've got to pick a color though. That's next. Yeah, I think I have I have a burnt orange type look. Yep, you're nice and straight and flat. I had the periwinkle one with the violets that I was going to work on. I was going to start on that on Friday, and then I woke up with just exactly enough of a sore throat that it's like, I don't want to take any chances. Yep, this is nice. It's not going anywhere. Yay. You ever do that? You do something new for the first time and you like, I don't know if paranoid's the right word. I don't know if I'm paranoid. But then again, words like paranoid we have such a negative connotation that when you do use it, when you use a word like that in context, it's like, but you get almost paranoid. It's like, I've never done this before. If it doesn't work, I'm really going to fuck up this project. So I'm like really overthinking the glue sticks. I really am. But I'm going just going to go like that. If I just do this first, then I can come back and do all that later. It might be a more, I know what I'm thinking, but it might be a more consistent, if I do this, then flip the whole thing, then come back. If I try to do the entire triangle in one pass, I just don't know if I want to, yeah, I can still peel it up if I need to, but it's sticking. It doesn't want to go nowhere. I think, you know what? I've got a couple of patterns. You know what? Okay, if I do a single pass, then there's the chance that once the spray is enough, it's going to start pulling out. But if I use a decorative stitch of some kind or a zigzag stitch, then it's not going to pull out. I think I'm going to look up a decorative stitch and do that because then I can just go go all the way around. It's not going to seem like it, but I'll save a ton of time and a ton of aggravation. La 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 la. Oh, and if I start from the back and go forward, I don't have to worry too much if I'm going from the back and going into the center, if this stretches out or does something, I don't have to care. Yeah. I'm talking to myself now, guys. Two more. Perfect. Last one. Yep, that's holding. There. Whew. Okay, let's turn it, let's turn it, let's turn it. So there we go now. Everything's all pinned up and ready to go. Now, yeah. Let's see what I've got. I should have enough. I should have enough if I pick a decorative design. Well, even if I don't, I should have enough. Let's see what I got going on here. Okay, so that's ready to go. It's still going to look like, all I care about is it still looks like a Stonehenge when it's done. Okay, what have I got? Over to the drawer. Oh, that I did ship that. Look at that. This is like practically sideways. It's like there and then there. It's got no space. Go there. Which one's this? There's that one. Oh my God. Such a mess. And there's that one. There's that one. That'll be fine. Okay, there's that one. Almost done. Okay. Let's see what we got here. Let's put that over there and go down here. Okay, I've got these already. I don't have a lot of orange. I have brand new of that. That's a 400. That's a 400. And okay, this is probably the dark. Oh, it's really shining on the camera. That's a little, it's got some dust on it, which isn't bad. I can just, that's one thing I like about these gloves. They got their own built-in stickiness so that stuff like that will stick to them. And you just flick it away. Okay. So I've got that one. Oops, wrong camera. There, I've got that one. That looks, yeah. Because I got to make sure, I don't know, I don't really know how much I'm going to need, because if I like the orange enough to want to finish the rest of the quilt in orange, then I have to make sure I have enough for the entire quilt. I've got that. Nope, that's also showing up super bright in that camera. No, I think these are not that big of a difference. This is 470. That's 400. I'm gonna use that one though. Okay, I've got partial spools. I've got a full spool, a partial spool, and another partial spool up there, but I'm going to use this one because it's already got a full bobbin and I'm lazy. Okay. So, oh, this is going to be a quilt. It's going to be a quilt, or it's going to be a quilt. And if I end up, depending on how it ends up, it could be a spread cloth, but because of the way the top is going to be on it, it might not be a very good one. We have to wait and see. Do-do-do. Do-do-do. Look at that fucking mess over there. That's not bad, I guess. It was bad. There's my computer in the way. I've got my computer pulled too far forward. That's why I ended up doing it. So this one here was over there because I'm still working through some colors from when I had Rose working for me. Some colors I just use more than others. And because there was two of us, we had at least two of everything open. And then you know how you're doing something, you open up a new one and forget that there's already one open. So like I've got like three of these already started. This is just a brand new one that I haven't opened yet. That's normal stuff. So, okay. I'm just gonna mess with this camera for a second. Bring it down a bit, you guys. I think you'll get a better the light color quilt I started. Oh, the purples? I was going to start that on Friday, and then I didn't. I had a touch of a sore throat, nothing serious, but I didn't. When I'm when I'm chilling and not talking that much, I'm still talking quite a bit when I'm live. So it's like I don't want to live stream. I can't really like. I'm fine. I'm comfortable. Nothing serious is happening, but there's just exactly enough of a sore throat that I couldn't risk irritating anything. But then I also never bothered starting it. So I never got around to starting it. And I was going to live stream that. I never got around to starting it. And then then it's the weekend. Pardon me. Then it's the weekend and we're doing stuff. I never got around to starting it. And then like, it was just yesterday. It's like, oh my God, I was walking past and it's like, oh man, I still haven't done anything with that Stonehenge. It's like, I should make one explode. I should do a thing. Because I thought I only had one left, and it turns out I've got like 7 or 8 left, which is my own damn fault. Basically, you're minding your own business. Then a deal walks up, and you just can't walk away from it. So it's like, oh, I'll get a few extra of those. That way, I can put one up. I'll get a few extra of the Stonehenge. That way, I can throw one in the shop once in a while. Then, of course, tariffs and postal stuff hits. For me, it's actually I've got news about that. Not happy. Now that I haven't been I put the shop on holiday mode and left it there. And just as they're finally getting the postal stuff sorted out, I come to find out I thought my stuff was tariff exempt, and it is, but there's a huge freaking process to go through that doesn't apply to, well, that might or might not apply to me. There's this certification process as a cottage industry, yada, yada, yada. And you have to have blah, 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 blah. You have to have all this shit in place that I just don't have. So it's going to be a very time consuming and possibly expensive process. So it will cost me for a $25 item, it will cost me approximately $20 to ship it per item. It's like lovely. Oh no, about 15 something per item for brokerage and tariff, because it's not even Trump. It's not even Trump. I'm going to be okay, if I want to send something to the States, right? I'm going to have like I think it's a $17.85 tariff bill. $15 of that is the brokerage fee. Okay, so a $20, 25% on a $20 item is $2.50 per it's only $5. The rest of it, because the company, because you don't just take this to the border, pay your fee and get it across the border. No. You have to go through what's called a broker. And the broker charges flat rate fees. So the brokerage fees, the brokerage and clearance and all these other fees that the brokerage companies charge basically puts you starting at a disadvantage of almost $15 an hour. And because of the way that they charge it, they could be charging it per item. Or basically it's just not worthwhile. It's not worthwhile. I'm gonna check. There is another option. There is another option. It's a company called Chit Chats. They're very popular up here. They've got a good reputation. The unfortunate problem with Chit Chats, though, is that when they have a problem, it's usually a big one. So I don't know how that's going to work. Like, I've got a great reputation, and I'd like to keep it that way. And I don't know what happens if I start standing through a company that has a record of losing. Yeah, this is only in regards. I can send anywhere else. I can send across I can send across Canada and just Canada has this small packet option where as long as you can get it through the mailbox slot, you can send it. Well, a tarot bag will go through the slot, right? So for that option, okay. Now I'm leaving all of this shit, or I'm leaving all of the side stuff on this panel because the idea is okay. I'm hoping to just do a quick little, okay. The idea here is that when I'm done, I'm gonna trim this to about 6 inches all the way around. And then I've got this cool fabric. I've got this cool fabric. I've got this basically appliqued onto it. And then I just put a couple of more borders around it and I've got a quilt. Anyway, no, that basically, and I guess it's well, no, it's not really my own fault. Basically, I've been waiting out for all the growing pains of how tariffs are going to be done. It's like I don't want to be I've heard some horror stories from people like, yeah, I rushed to the front of the line. I needed to get my stuff out. I can't afford to go out. I can afford to shut down, right? So it's like, oh, I can't afford this. I can't afford this. I can't afford this, and they're running their businesses, and then they're having huge problems. There's one person took an art commission. Art is supposed to be tariff free. Okay, there's not supposed to be any tariffs in art, and she doesn't know what happened. And there's a whole bunch of things that could have happened. So she sends this art piece, and I guess she wanted like 1,000. I guess it was like, commissioned art $1,000 or something like that. She didn't say how much she sold it for, but I'm guessing. And the tariff, and she put it in the mail, did the thing, got it sent out, and then got a notice back from the customs broker. Oh yeah, by the way, your tariff and custom and brokerage and customs fees on this is going to be $500. So, okay, now if I pick a design, oh, that might work, but I'd have to make it narrow. That would work, but I don't think I'll like it. Okay, now I have to shop for a design. But this machine, some designs I already know up front that I don't like. Anyway, yeah, it's like that. I'm going to do some more research. But also CUSMA, the Canada, in the States, it's going to be the U.S., Canada, Mexico agreement. Up here, it's the Canada, U.S. It's the same agreement. We just put ourselves first, right? In Mexico, it's Mexico, U.S., Canada, whatever. Anyway, the free trade agreements that we have in place right now, they're actually up for negotiation in January. So we're going to get an idea of what kind of concessions may or may not happen. We're going to get information on that in January. Right now, okay, if nothing changes, then in January, I'm going to reopen the Canadian side of the shop because I can set it for Canada only. So if nothing changes in terms of, because I don't really care that there's a tariff charge, but obviously, okay, it's like $16 to $17 for the tariff charge plus $8 for $16 to $17 for a tariff charge plus anywhere from $8 to $10. This is all in Canadian money. 16 to $17 total in tariff charges plus $7 to $8 in postage. Well, it's going to be closer to $9 on a so $24 in fees on a $25 bag. It's like I don't want to double my prices. I do not want to double my prices. I'm not going to do it. Okay, so what I'm doing right now, right this minute, I need to decide between a straight stitch, I can do a straight stitch or a zigzag stitch. I can also do that one. 76 there. It's a schmancy stitch. And it looks really cool. It's a schmancy stitch. It looks really cool. I can make it pretty narrow. I could also do number 83 is some of these could do a double stitch. So they're a pain in the ass. So I can do 76 there. any stitches here, like, okay, I see this one, see number 5 right there. I can flip a button and have that is a solid line on one side with loops, and I can flip it so that the solid line is on the other side. I can just do a wandering, maybe I'll just do number 4 there. It's a wandering little, instead of a sharp zigzag, it's a wandering little thing. I'm sure it's got a name, but I'm not going to look it up. I can do that. These anything that's black means it goes over really, 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 really heavy. So I would use a screaming shit ton of things. This one, number 83, I like. 83 I like because it's just little squares in different sizes, and it's got this intentional sloppiness to it. I like that one. Basically, I'm thinking of stitches. Will you see it with the fraying? Yeah, I don't know that you're going to see much of any of this with the fraying. I was thinking of, look at that. I was thinking about number 83. I think I'm going to do number 83. It doesn't look like much right now, but basically, okay. If I do a straight stitch, I'm going to want to go over it twice to make sure that it's really held down so that the frame won't continue on through. So if I do something that's somewhat, it doesn't have to be decorative for decorative purposes, but if a decorative stitch does multiple things before it moves on. But you know what else I've got? I think I've got a double stitch. I've got a triple stitch. Let me take this off. Let me take this off and set it down. I should have done this step first, but I can do it now. Oh, there we go. I've even got the correct color. Where's my scissors? This is what you should do. This is the smart person's approach. For me, it's easy because I just stare at the things. Okay, so 83. No, I want to do that. Nope. And I would make it really narrow. Go to what I got. 4. Okay. I would pay it. It's kind of going all over the place, but oh, no, I have to go. Let's see what I do. That's too far apart. I need it closer together. See, this is what the closer together one. Of course, my camera doesn't want. Yeah, the closer together one is what I would do. It does not want to. Oh, it's probably got too much light in the background. There we go. So that one, it's kind of sloppy, but it's okay for it to be a little sloppy. Yeah, if I use a decorative stitch, I won't have to go over it again, but I just spotted this one, and I think I might just, let's see how long it takes to do. Okay. That's the triple. Oh, wow. That might be the winner right there. This is one of my straight stitches. It's one of my straight stitches, but it's going back over itself the whole way. So it's a triple stitch. Yeah, it's doing 2 layers. So I can do a straight stitch if I want, or I could do this, or I could do this one that's intentionally sloppy. Actually, that's not. I think I have to clean my machine. One way you can tell if your machine needs cleaning is if you're doing a schmancy stitch and it's pulling. I don't know if you can tell, because when you get right up into that little corner there, you can see that it's pulling a little bit, and it shouldn't be doing that. Let's no, that's not. I'm going to do the triple stitch. I'm going to do the triple stitch because I'm not supposed, the whole idea is that I don't have to think this hard. But what I'm going to do is going to sound messed up. I'm going to start here, right? I'm going to do about 1/4 of an inch. Okay, so I'm going to start here, right? And then when I get to the end, because see, I don't know, see all this stuff, it's everywhere, right? So I'm going to go from here to the end, and then I'm just going to go from here to here. So I'm going to go here to the end, cut the thread, go back, start another line, and then when I'm all done, I can just do the outsides separately. Because if I try to go to the center and then pivot the entire thing and come back out, I should have checked that first. That was my own oversight because I never ever use those types of stitches, so I always forget that I have them. Always, every freaking time. So we got going on here. It's slower for sure. Mind you, I shouldn't say anything. The schmancy stitches are just as slow because it's got to stitch multiple times, right? Okay, now that one came off. Okay, that's fine. It's not going anywhere. Yeah. Oh, that's why I don't use it. Basically, because it's going like this, it's also trying to go like this at the same time. It's not a big deal, but you just got to get used to it, right? And and if I take out another glove, where's my new ones? I've got a brand new pair of gloves kicking around somewhere, and there they are. They're over there in the corner. It's back there. My problem is that once a pair of gloves have been washed the first time, they fit perfectly. This has got a thread stuck on it. No, don't do this. This is my problem. It's like slowing me down. Just, yeah. So far, we're not, and I don't know if we're going to bother. We don't have stuff going on, but we have stuff. Okay, there we go. I may have to go a little closer to the edge, but we'll see. Yeah, there's a lot of push and pull happening. Do I have one that's just a double? I can switch to different stitches and it doesn't matter. I am so lazy. I just like, how can I do this faster? And it shouldn't matter. It shouldn't matter if my stitches are a little sloppy, because where's my scissors? There they are. The next part of this is the part that I'm not going to enjoy. Requires even more patience than this part, and that is that I'm going to be going along I'll finish this line and I'll show you right quick before I continue. I think I'm not. Well, I think so. I think Christmas Day is when. I think Christmas Day, but we're not. Okay, we're doing turkey, but we're not even planning on the stereotypical roasted turkey thing. For turkey, we are probably. I'm just going to go right to the end because I can. There we go. It's very unlikely that this actually needs. Okay, so I've got. Yeah, look at what happened. Look what happened here. It like started off here, then it jumped over here. Then I decided to bring it a little closer to the edge, so I brought it back here. It's not going to matter though, because what I'm going to be doing. Let me just point it down. What I'm going to be doing later. I mean, coming along the edge here, I'm just going to snip. I'm not pushing all the way into the thread, but then and it doesn't have to be straight, because then what's going to happen is all the little loose threads here, when I wash it, all the threads that are going this way are going to come out. They're going to go poof, and then they'll be all nice and puffed up over and around all this stuff. You'll see it, but you won't see it the same way that you're seeing it now. Anyway, so then I'm just gonna, so instead of turning everything, I'm just gonna come here, start again. Come on, get in there. Start again. I am really, really taking advantage. If I, okay, I'm gonna, and just to be really crystal clear, I have a knee lift, so I can do this part. If I had to let go and do all this stuff, I'd have more pins. I would definitely be using more pins if I didn't have a knee lift. I probably should be using more pins, but I don't mind. Yeah, it looks really good. I like the orange. I'm glad you agreed with me. I mean, you're the only one talking, so I blame everyone else. No. Yeah, so far we haven't. I've got a few projects I want to work on. Lisa just launched the Unicorn Journey Oracle on, not launched. She just released it. She just released our leftovers to Etsy. So that's a thing. So yeah, we just got, we're not doing the bah humbug thing, but we're also like reaching, and we don't buy gifts anymore. We don't buy gifts for each other. We don't buy gifts for that's enough. We might buy a gift. We might buy gifts for the kids, but it's minor. Like we have everything we need. Everything. There's not a whole lot. There's not a whole lot on the, I really wish I had this list that matters. And as soon as we do see something, we just go get it. It's like we've reached that stage of life, and it's like, I don't want to go without something for the next 6 months because so that I don't want to go without something so that somebody can buy it for me for Christmas. And we're not talking like big major. It's like, oh, I want to go on that trip to Hawaii. I was like, we're not those people, right? So we're not doing anything that requires a whole lot of. We've just all got. Yeah, I don't know how that's going to look in the long run. So yeah, so this one, and when I'm done, when I've got all of these down, I'll just come back and go along the top as well, because the top will have to be done. Anyway, now this is going to be my life for the next whatever. How about you? I'm yeah, it's like, ask me a question, I'll talk for 12 hours, but I won't ask about you because I'm considerate that way. Are you decorating? I kind of noticed that it seems to be, I don't know if it's a tarot community thing or just the people that are in our community, but a lot of people go all in for Christmas. It seems like we have a higher percentage of people who just don't bother. But yeah, what are you doing? What are you doing? You got family coming over and all the happy shit, or is it just another day for you? Well, yeah, well that was the second piece too, is that the kids don't need anything either. I don't think I would have done it if I didn't recognize. Yeah, Linda just says back dishes are done. I would have never thought of cutting a pan like that. I don't think I would have done it if I didn't already have extra panels. Extra panels, and because I got a deal. It's like, hey, I can give you a deal. It's like, okay, people like these panels. I've got extras. I can afford to wreck this one and not worry about it too much. So yeah, I don't know. Did you see it before I got started on it? I don't think I need to backstitch anything. Bruno, you're a good boy. What time is it? It's the wrong time. I think I have to go on a very short intermission, people, because my dog is barking at me, which usually means he needs to go potty. Oh, that's coming out. I've been lazy, but yeah, I'll be right back. Yeah, my birthday is December. My birthday is December 14th. So it's like, it's it's not okay. Getting to make guaranteeing the time that we can get together and see each other. That part's awesome, but nobody need we don't do we stopped giving gifts a few years ago because nobody needs anything, and the stuff that I want is very specific. The stuff that we want slash need, and this is from for all of us. The stuff that we want or need is so specific that there's no point in buying it for each other. So yeah, it's just like get together, have a nice meal, and yeah. Anyway, I will only be like 5 minutes or so, so I'm just gonna leave the camera going. I'm only gonna be a few minutes, but I do have to walk him because now that he's started, he won't stop. But you guys have been around for one of his little things. Come on, let's go potty. Let's go outside. Come on. Oh, you too, eh? Come on. Where are you going? You're the one who did the barking. Come here. We're going this way. We'll go potty. Come on, let's go potty. Come on. What you do? Yeah, I see you. Why are you suddenly shy now? We can go. Come on, Shannon. Let's go potty. Come on, puppy doodle. Come on. There you go. Come on, baby. I know you don't like. You've got a pee though, and you know it. Come on. Okay, baby, come on. Bruno, this way. You are such a bum. Get down. There you go. It's okay, Sheila. I gotta take my coat off first. Come on. There we go. This way, this way, this way. Where's my Sheila? There's my girl. Girl, you got it. Man, I might as well keep going on. You're okay, baby. You're okay. Let me just put this away. And I'm back. I hope. Okay, don't forget we're working now. Yeah, my birthday is December the 14th. My father's birthday was December the 29th, and my sister's birthday was December the 27th. So birthdays were a pair of pajamas for us. But you know what? Those when I kind of got lucky. I don't know if lucky is the right word, but it was kind of lucky because I wasn't the only person in the house with a December birthday. So it doesn't end up feeling the same. But yeah. Anyway, so I am back. I gotta get my gloves back on. Oh, and I was saying about the shop. So what I've got going on, I've got two things happening right now. So we did find out that if I'm sending a gift or a fabric scrap pack, those don't, as long as if I'm sending, I can send a gift as long as it's worth less than about $50 Canadian. And like, so I can, so if I want to, I can still do fabric scrap packs. And I don't have to care where I send them. If I'm sending one down to the States, because it's all scrap anyway, so I can just list its value as $5 and then get on with my day. No tariff because it's a gift. But if I'm anything that I'm selling is looking at about an extra, about 20 to 25% tariffs plus, and it's the brokerage fee that's killing me. And the brokerage fee is charged by anybody. And here's the thing, even if the tariff is zero, even if the tariff is absolutely zero, the brokerage fee still applies, which is where, anyway, so I'm going to open the shop. So unless we get good news in January about tariffs in general, then I'm going to reopen to Canada only. And honestly, yeah, I can start doing scrap packs again. I'm gonna wait till okay. So basically, I'm gonna wait till after Christmas because then any income I'm getting from any Canadian income I get from the shop will help pay for that. which might mean that I can effectively run the shop at like a 0% profit. I can basically, the scrap packs are also a business write-off. So if I do it right, I can have my shop basically zero, which will maximize other benefits that you can get at tax time, which would be nice. Okay, that's done. Okay, so I don't know if you heard me say it, Linda, but what I'm doing is I glue stick the top and the bottom to hold it in place, and I've got a pin. I'm not agonizing because it's okay for it to be uneven. As long as they're not overlapping each other, it's okay for it to be a little uneven this way, because that's a look that I'm intentionally going for. So I'm going to go left side, I'm going to go right side, then left side. I'm going to go all the way around. Then when I'm done, I'll come back and get the tops, because that way I'm not trying to spin all this loose fabric at every turn. Let's me be a little bit lazier in different ways, because I am not constantly I don't have to pin the crap out of it, as long as everything stays relatively flat. If something shifts, it's fine, because it's going to if something shifts as I'm sewing, it's fine, because it's not going to move that much, and it's intentionally not supposed to be all spread out. I mean, it's intentionally not supposed to be symmetrical. You can do these and have them symmetrical, though. I've seen a couple of projects like this, but what people do is what people do to do them symmetrical. Yeah. What people do to make them symmetrical is they will cut everything symmetrically, and then they sew this all together and make a giant patch out of it, where I'm doing it like semi-applique, and I found a triple stitch. So I can still do I can do a straight line, but I can get multiple layers in a single pass. That's actually why the machine's not going very fast, because it's actually it's doing all of its progress in the number of stitches it's doing per pass. But yeah, I'm very happy with this so far. I'm lazy. I'm being lazy about the pins, because it's okay if it shifts a bit. And it's okay if it shifts left and right a bit too. I don't care if these are consistently even apart either, because an explosion is not symmetrical. I will find out. I'm not going to find out until I wash it whether or not, because once all these are done and fraying, I'm not going to find out whether I'm getting the full effect or not, but we'll see. But yeah, my sister and I got a combined birthday, because 14th and 27th, and we were poor folk. There wasn't a lot of money to do a lot of that stuff. I'm not bothering to backstitch, because this is a triple stitch, so it's already really well locked down. But yeah, birthday was pajamas. I got distracted and didn't realize how far off center I was. There's one right there. Ugh. I'm not going to try too hard. Oh, it's just going to come right out. Okay. So I'm not going to try too hard to get. I mean, I'm off, but like I started like almost half an inch above. I never saw this online as a pattern. I forget where I saw it. I saw something similar in it's not something I saw recently. I saw this a long time ago and thought this would be a really cool thing to do to a panel. And I can't for the life of me remember where I saw it. But they didn't do it this way. They didn't do it applique style. They literally measured it all out and got all their stuff going. And it's like, I will rage quit. Rage quit something that gets that specific, because the center is, if you were to do it that way, your center is going to have like 20 points that all have to meet. But we were doing that applique stuff. It just kind of, you ever do that thing You ever do the thing where you just your mind is just kind of wandering and you wander past? I wandered back and I had this set aside, wandered back into the bedroom, went, that would be perfect. And here we are. I've still got the periwinkle. I've still got that stuff to work with. I was going to come in and do it on. I was going to come in and do it on. I was going to come in and get started on that on Friday. It's not. It's not going to. The periwinkle one is not going to be a very difficult or time. Pardon me. It's not going to be very difficult or time consuming to make. I don't think. But I had a sore throat. I wasn't sick. I don't know if I don't know what was. I don't know what. I'm thinking it was. If I was sick, it was so mild I didn't notice. It was probably just something to do with allergies. I have mild allergies, very very mild. And every now and again, I get some irritation. But it's like, if there's something going on, I shouldn't be sitting there talking to the internet for. I've completely lost my voice before from sore throat turning into laryngitis. So it's like, I probably should not. So I didn't. And then this happened, so I'm doing this instead. I'm still doing the other one. Once I get this panel done, I'm going to square it up. I'm going to go about 6 inches all the way around. And then I'll put a couple of borders on it, and whatever I end up with is what I end up with, and I'll turn it into a. I think I'm going to go get the larger batting. I'm not sure what I'm going to use for the batting. I'd like it to be I'm gonna finish it first. I'm gonna finish it first as a top, all by itself. Actually, if I finish it, I can finish this into quilt as you go, as long as I have a wide enough piece of material to use. In theory, I could be sewing this down as I'm doing that. Yeah, okay. Yeah, I'm okay. I kind of want some of these to turn out a little sloppy, which is one of the reasons why I'm being a little. This is a sloppy project. This is definitely a sloppy person's project. But yeah, I'm not using a single straight stitch. I'm using a triple stitch. So I shouldn't have any problem with the fraying getting underneath and loosening everything up. It's not going to be round. It still finishes up into a kind of a rectangle shape. So I'm going to square it off into a rectangle. I'm going to square it off into a rectangle. Then I'm going to build it out. I haven't fully decided what I'm going to build it out into yet. This is more about getting the panel, the centerpiece done. It might even make a really good reading cloth, but I don't think Lisa would use it. But we shall see. We shall see. But yeah, so I'm reopening the Canadian side of the shop for sure in Jane. And my Canadian sales are on a good month, maybe 20% of my regular sales, which kind of fits. This is kind of good news because it's like I'm definitely ready to be winding down. I want to reopen the shop because I really need to have something to do. And when you have no obligation, it's really easy to get lazy and not do anything. So opening a shop for Canada only is going to be just the right kind of trickle sales to keep me busy without making me so busy that I regret doing it, if that makes sense. Well, yeah, you guys know what I mean. So I'll do that. Scrap packs, we've sent out a couple of things recently down to the States for other reasons. So we now know how to send gifts down. So I can do scrap packs again. Problem is that I can't do a sale down to the States. And if I get caught, I can get blocked from ever. They can block you by your name. There's a bunch of information that you have to provide before you can send a package across the border. So they can block you by all that stuff. And then you just can't send mail back and forth anymore. And the States takes mail fraud a hell of a lot seriously than Canada does. So it's like, it's not worth creating a risk for myself. But the tariffs are up for renegotiation, and if they do decide to give us back some of the de minimis, things change. Or they might just change everything and say even gifts have tariffs. Who the fuck knows? I did not. Let's go back. Let's see how back stitching works with it. Oh, it does not want to back stitch. Oh, there it goes. They didn't quite meet. They didn't quite meet, so I just back stitched to get it back into there. Nice thing about the triple stitching is I do not have to back stitch to get it started. Okay, yeah, so this is my life until this part's done. That's what we're looking at right now. Yeah, it's looking good. It's looking good. I've got these ones done. I'm definitely going to get it done today, but I don't think I'll be finishing it. Oh no, you got to go up there. My pins are coming out. That's always awesome. I get a little paranoid about the pins. I don't like it when they hit the floor. La la la. Yeah, this is kind of, like I said, adding this on applique style though is, yeah, and it's not round because I'm going right into actual corners. Oh, you can't see it from there. Let me see. Yeah, there's the actual corner. So it's not going to be round. I should have rounded. I could have, should have, would have, but it's like, by the time I don't want to, I could always do another one later. I will say I'm happy with the glue though. It's holding everything where I want it to be. Maybe it might be something I want to use more often. Yeah, I mean, yeah. But yeah, this is supposed to be off size, off center. This is doing exactly what I wanted it to do. I wish, well, you know what? A triple stitch is probably better all the way around anyway. I'm just checking on these pins. But yeah, I figure I'm going to figure out where the narrowest point is probably right here at this, because it just shifted off center. This is probably the narrowest point right here. So I'll probably go right up to the edge of this narrowest point, and that will be my border all the way around. Because I've also got, I might put these in the corners. So once I get that done, put 4 corners. And then that's the darker version of, that's the light teal, and this is like the dark green. There's that one. I can just do this thing. I can make a border out of this one and go all the way around the outside when that's done. I haven't decided how big I'm going to make it though. And then I've got these two. I've got these two, and I think I might just cut two or three big pieces, sew them together, and then make that the back. And then I've got, I don't know how many of these I've got. I've got a bunch of these left. I haven't figured out exactly how many, but do you work with panels at all, Linda? Yeah, they're all from the same collection too, so it's the perfect fit. I have been saving this fabric to make a quilt. I know I'm kind of wasting a big chunk here by putting it behind everything, but it's letting me do something really cool with. I was just going to do the panel, right? And this lets me do something really cool with the panel, which is what I've been wanting to do. So gets everything all where I want it. These two here frustrate me a little bit because I always focus I don't know what it's going to be like when it running just a Canadian shop. I'm still going to wait till January because we still don't have a guarantee that they're not going to go on strike. We're still waiting. We still have to wait that out a little bit. So if January comes and there's still a chance of a strike, I won't be reopening even to Canada right away because I just don't trust Canada Post. But I've gotten into such a bad habit of always wanting to find ways to go faster. And when they're that specific, it's really easy. If you're focusing on fast, then you don't line them up properly for that kind of stuff. So there we go. That's why I really love projects where precision is not necessary. So, no, just to border them and then want to do an attic window with a panel. Yeah, attic windows were. I did that one. I didn't do it properly. I did the one on the corner of my quilt on the one piece of my pro, and that was fun. I still have your address. I should send. I'm not gonna. Well, I don't know how that's gonna work. I think I still have to wait till January before sending anything that's not essential across the border. I just don't trust our postal service. I don't trust them. They're all assholes. Okay, got that one. Yeah, I want to do a Stonehenge as a window. But I really love the Stonehenge, but it's so fucking big. And like I'd say like 2/3 of it is just the sky, which really frustrates me for that panel because it's such a gorgeous panel. If they'd have flipped it and done it landscape, it would have been amazing. Yeah, so what am I doing? Yeah, I'm not doing much. I'm doing stuff. But yeah, these are really great to just bind them, finish them, turn them into a quilted piece, and they make amazing reading cloths. But I always take off that I always take off the little border piece that I always take off the built-in border and then shorten out. Like this is like taking out almost a little over half the sky to get this. It looks a lot better without the sky on it. Next step is I have to sit there and go snip, snip, snip. That's not gonna be bad. I'll crank up some tunes and just move it. I'll crank up the tunes, spread it out at the big table, and just do it. I don't think it'll take that long. And if I harass my wife just the right way, she might help. She might agree. Honey, you like using scissors? Do this scissor thing for me. She'll love to spend an entire. Well, actually, you know what? She will spend an entire evening helping me with this. I'm going to try and bully her into it because there's a really good chance that she'll be the one taking it anyway. Go. Yeah, I like the glue. It's holding unless I want it to move. I'm going to talk about school glue now incessantly. Oh my God. I'm just watching random videos last night just because that's what I do. It's like, I watch random YouTube videos the way other people just flip to the TV, right? I come across this video, and it's somebody who's actually got a fairly big channel in the sewing community, blah, blah, blah. And she's talking Temu. It's like, oh, I went ahead and bought all these Temu stuff. Let me review them for you. And I'm like, what are you doing? Can I just say, unless money is a serious issue for you, and if money is a serious issue for you, call me. If I have a way to help, I will. But she's talking about all this Temu stuff that she bought a whole bunch of Temu stuff so that she could rate it all, and it's like, there was so much wrong. There was so much wrong. There was so much wrong with what she was saying that I almost grabbed a pen to start making a list, because she was talking about, okay, like the big one for me, she was talking about rulers. It's like, but there is literally a Chinese inch and a North American inch. Okay, China uses inches, and so do we. And I'm not sure if China is the only country, but if you buy some, Temu is a Chinese e-commerce website, right? If you buy a ruler off of Temu, there's a really good chance that you're getting a Chinese inch and not a standard inch. So all of your measurements are going to be off. It's like, oh, this ruler's okay, but that ruler's not okay. Or you're going to get a ruler that's in centimeters and of no use, especially like I use inches. We can get inches or centimeters up here in Canada, but I'm watching this video, and she's like, oh, if you want to get a rotary cutter, I would not get a rotary. Do not get a rotary cutter off Temu. Do not get one off of Temu, because there's a really good chance, like she was saying, oh, I got this one rotary cutter. It's a little stiff to open it and close it, and it's like, you need to be able to close that thing. If she got rotary cutter blades, she's like, oh, these are the exact same ones, yada, yada, yada. Sometimes they are, and sometimes they are the defective ones that they couldn't put in an international shipment. I can always tell when somebody's reselling. Yeah, they don't. It's like, but she was talking about this stuff, and it was like, I get it. I get wanting to save a couple of bucks. Totally get it. I totally get it. But it is safer to go to Value Village and get a used rotary cutter, and then go buy some, and then all you gotta do is buy blades for it, than it is to go on to. We get a lot of stuff on Amazon. But we check against the brand. If they say they're selling this brand, then if we don't get that brand, we're returning it. But when you get stuff on Temu, the safety standards just aren't the same. And I'm not saying they don't have any standards at all, but sellers on Temu, they get away with a lot when it comes to putting crap on the market. She orders a bunch of fabric. It's like, oh, blah, 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 I ordered this cotton fabric, yada, yada, yada. Oh, I guess it's on me. I didn't realize it was polyester. It's like, okay, but they getting it, and it's low quality, and it's. I will say that if saving money matters that much, and to some people it does. Two of the greatest places I found to get fabric was Value Village, because people like me, oh, I don't have a use. I had a bunch of Halloween fabric that I know. I had a bunch of fabric Halloween. I got not a bunch, but I got some Halloween fabric because I wanted to do the Halloween fabric. I made a few bags. I sold some, and then just nobody wanted it after that, because it's actually quite, it's limited, right? You can only really do it if you don't have your Halloween stuff all sewn up and ready to go by, say, mid-September. You're not going to sell it because people want to get it in time for Halloween. But I was always busy enough. It's like I don't need to prioritize sales 2 months from now. So when I'm putting it's like, oh, let's sew up some Halloween a week before Halloween. Nobody wants it, right? That's a me thing. But I took the fabric to Value Village, and they're going to sell it at a discount. And somebody looking to save money is going to get themselves a really good fabric. If you go to someplace like Value Village to buy your fabric, make sure the fabric is clean and wash it before. Make sure the fabric is visibly clean, and then just wash, and doesn't smell, and then wash it before you use it. You've got fabric that you can do for a lot of stuff with, and you're seeing it in person. You're seeing it in advance in person, so at least oh, this is a pretty good quality. I can use it for this. Oh, this is you know what you're getting. A lot of people take their leftover fabrics and stuff. Fat quarters and up, they take them to Value Village, and Value Village resells that stuff, and you can get some great deals. Another place to get some great deals, believe it or not, is actually Walmart. Michael's also sometimes Michael's is a really expensive option. Yeah, I want to feel the fabric before I buy. But the funny thing is, okay, Walmart is a bad place to get fabric in general. But like if you want to make a if you want to make a if you're thinking about making something that you don't have to worry too much about, I'm going to do that. See how that goes. If you're thinking about making something that is small or that doesn't require a heavy fabric, or that you're not concerned, like, I don't know, an eyeglass case. You give it a good steam iron to shrink it up a little bit, make it, and you can get what you want. No, you're not going to make a heavy duty purse out of Walmart fabric, but there's things that you can make. But if you want a better quality of fabric, you will at least know upfront exactly what quality of fabric. Anyway, but I could not believe I was losing. I was watching this video. She made the video a couple months ago, I think. I was watching this video, quietly losing my mind, because it's like she's got like over 300,000 subscribers, advising, oh, this is what you can safely buy from Temu, and it's like, no. You can buy rulers that are not in the that are you can buy rulers that are even, and well, their metric is going to be the same as everywhere else, but there is a Chinese inch. It matters and it makes a difference, right? The fabric, you almost never get what you buy. Every single piece of fabric that she showed, oh, blah, blah, blah. Oh, this is a little thinner than what I thought. Every single piece of it. Oh, but I can use it for blah, so it's okay. And it's like, if I got a piece of fabric that was too thin, I can't do anything with it. Because I'm asking people that, okay, I can for my own personal projects, but I've got a shit ton of fabric already to choose from. And I'm not going to, there's very few, there used to be, there was a couple of things that I would make, and I forget what it was now. A couple of things that I would make where a thinner fabric was absolutely not a problem, and just made the project a little bit, I don't know how to describe it. It didn't make it better, but one of the things that I was going for was a thinner thing, but it's very limited, right? I don't know. I'm saying it all ass backwards. I bet you guys are used to that. But yeah, it's like she's showing all of the, oh, and rulers. Now there's rulers that you measure with, and then there's fancy quilting rulers. It's like, oh, I want a circle so that I can get my quilting foot on and go and do a circle, right? And she's showing the one ruler that she got, and I'm just like, what the fuck is wrong with you, lady? She must be struggling for content or something, because she's showing this ruler. Okay, when you have your quilting foot on, if you're using a ruler to get your shit, or to run your, if you're using a quilting foot, free motion quilting, right? And you're using a ruler to keep things organized so you can do your swoops and your things properly, they have to be a certain thickness, or the ruler could slide under the foot and into your needle and cause all kinds of problems. And she's going, oh yeah, this one here is definitely a problem, yada yada yada. But I can get a refund. Okay, but if you get, oh, this other one's a little close, but it'll be fine. It's like, I'm sorry, it'll be fine for you because you have experience. It would not be fine. It would not be okay. Like I've sewn all kinds of stuff, but I've never tried to use those rulers. It would not be fine for me, not by a fucking long shot. And she's, oh my God, I could not believe what I was seeing. I could not believe what I was seeing, that oh, and she was talking about pins. A lot of pins have burrs on the ends. Cheap pins have burrs on the ends that can actually tear little tiny holes in your fabric. Oh yeah, blah blah blah. So you can get pins. That's not a problem. Just check them for burrs. So she's showing substandard. She's showing substandard fabric. And I would also, by the way, especially if you're in Canada, do not buy fabric. Do not buy fabric off of Amazon unless you are looking for thin fabric. It's okay if you're. It's perfectly fine if you're looking for thinner fabrics, But if that's not what you want, if you're looking for, it's like the thread count, right? If you're looking for thinner fabrics, lighter fabrics, that's fine. But most of the fabric that we're seeing most of the fabric that we're seeing up here on Amazon Canada comes from Temu. Somebody brings in a bunch of Temu shit at a discount and then resells it on Amazon. If I'm buying on Amazon, I'm checking the brand first and making sure it's a brand with a decent reputation. But yeah, I got up on my high horse, so I'm sitting there last night, right up on my high horse, going, why? And I don't know how to describe this. Like if I find something that I think, hey, I think this is really cool. If this is something that matters to you, you might want to consider it. I think I've done that a couple times here, but I'm talking to a very small crowd and I'm talking in detail. I'm providing details. I'm answering questions, whatever. It's like, but I got to talk about my little gloves, right? Like, but, and I get these and like, I get these cheap. There's two different kinds that I get. There's the kind I get from the fabric store, and they're about, depending on whether or not they're having a sale, $10 to $15 a pair. But I can also get the same thing super cheap if I get it on Amazon, but they're only going to last. I can get, like, I think it's a 6-pack for $10 to $15, but after 2 or 3 the way I work, after I have to switch them out about every week, throw them away with a new pair. But she's hitting and running because she wants to talk about a lot of stuff all at once, right? I'm like, oh my God. I was just kind of squicked out. It's like, because she's got a big audience. It's like, why are you telling people to do this? But I mean, and I would not buy, she was talking about rotary cutter blades. I wouldn't buy a rotary cutter blade from Temu. It's like, if you luck into the Temu seller with defective rotary cutter blades. I saw a post. I was in a sewing group a long time ago. I think I might still be in that group. Where a woman was talking about how her rotary cutter slipped and she needed surgery because she went over her hand. I forget what the details was. She totally owned it that it was 100% her fault. She said, yeah, 100% my fault. I was careless. I was this, I was that. And my rotary cutter slipped and now I have to go get a surgery because she did nerve damage or whatever. And I don't know. I don't remember much beyond that, but it's like, if that's a risk, why, and you can't tell me somebody with 300,000 subscribers should know what the risk is. Oh yeah, they're just like any other rotary blade. You can buy these. No. No. Oh, I better stop. I better take a quick check on my bobbin. Bobbins are usually where my world falls apart. I've got lots. Okay, so all the manhandling, some of the glue is let go in this area. So, which is fine. It's letting me just fold it back down and give it a little press. Because I don't think the glue fully dries for hours. I didn't want to use 505 because I don't think there's a way to use that much 505 without ending up with stuff that's not going to come up. I know 505 is also washable, but it takes more than one round to get cleaned up. But yeah, no, just go to your local fabric store and ask them if they have a discount bin. You can get it cheaper there, and you can get a better quality of fabric. Go to Value Village and see what they've got. Just take your time to check it and make sure it's clean, right? I was really surprised. At what you could find at Value Village. I buy new fabric now, but before I started doing this, and before I could afford to keep a giant fucking closet full of fabric, I got a lot of fabric at Value Village. I like right now, I don't wash things first, right? I'm I just don't. I do my project, then I wash. Well, if you're buying Value Village fabric, then wash first. Wash it first. That's it. That's the only thing that changes. Yeah, yeah. I Yeah, I that kind of annoys me. Honestly, I grew up as broke folk. I mean, my dad was blind, so we lived on his disability pension. Um, I grew up poor, and it's like one thing that used to annoy the crap. Okay, here's the thing: if you're broke, you're broke, right? But if you're running around, if you're broke because you go to brunch every weekend with your friends and your money goes into coach purses and all kinds of crap like that, don't tell me how broke you are. It's like, no, you're not, because there's broke and then there's making choices. I've made choices that have left me broke. That's nobody. I'm not going to complain about that. Oh yeah, we went ahead and did blah. So we're not doing blah that, we went, yeah, I went ahead. We went ahead and went out for dinner because it was so-and-so's birthday. So we're not going out to the bar tonight with our friends. I guess as a bad example, I don't really drink. I never really did. My idea of a big party night was having 2 shots. Yeah, it's like, oh, you know what? I used to live in a boarding house, right? And the guys were really bad. And I will tell you right now, we were all broke folk. These guys were on welfare, right? Get their check. Well, even when they were working, get their check, go buy beer, go buy this, go buy that, party for like 3 or 4 days until it's all gone. And I smoked at the time. Hey, Peggy, you got to smoke? Hey, Peggy, you got to smoke? It's like, hey, asshole, why didn't you say, hey, asshole, why were you drinking beer? If you can't, if you smoke and that's important to you, then why were you out? And I didn't, it's like, I didn't care. I didn't care what they were doing, but it's like, if you have money for A, B, and C, then something like cigarettes is not a necessity. And it's like, if I can't afford to smoke, then I certainly can't afford to lend you money for cigarettes. I don't know. I think we have this thing now where not being able to afford something is not being able to afford something is like poverty, when most of the stuff that we consider, I'm poor because I can't afford blah, and most of the things that we think makes us poor are things that, it's inconvenient if you can't afford it's really inconvenient if you can't afford a cell phone. But I don't, it's like, maybe that's a bad example, because cell phones have become so important to the day-to-day of our society that might matter. But it's like, the keeping up with the Joneses. When somebody was keeping up with the Joneses, if you said that somebody was keeping up with the Joneses when I was a kid, that was an insult. And now it's a point of pride. It's like, yeah, I'm just as good as my neighbors. It's like, dude, that's playing keep up with the Joneses. But And it's okay to do that over a couple of little things. Oh yeah, my neighbor has a really nice computer. I'm kind of jealous and I'm saving up for one of my own. That's fine. But I'm really jealous that they have all of these things. So I'm going to go get it all on credit and then wonder why my life is not working out the way I want it to. I don't know. I get a little judgmental. Like I said, I grew up as broke folk. I get a little judgmental looking at and I do, and I know it's a me thing. I get a little judgmental looking at some people going, "Oh, I'm so poor, I'm so poor, I'm so poor." And it's like, but you have somewhere to live, you have enough food, and you have a few luxuries of life. Just because you don't have all the luxuries doesn't mean that you're poor if you only have a few of the luxuries. But I suppose it's a relative experience, because like my sister is kind of the opposite. Her and her husband, I haven't talked to them in 20 years, so maybe they finally grew out of it, but um they always seem to be living hand to mouth because she was always off buying shit that they didn't need. It's like, you grew up just like me. You grew up just like me with an understanding of how and why this shit shouldn't matter, and you're just her kids would go into their bedrooms and literally have to kick a path to get past all of the toys, because it was just toys everywhere. She couldn't stand for them to not have a toy every week. It's like, and then she said to me the one day, I don't understand why my kids always want to go to your house because we have all the toys here. I was like, okay. But yeah, I don't know. We have to redefine poor versus broke, you know? And it's kind of funny. Like, I mean, it's okay to collect. It's okay to have a Coach bag. It's okay to collect tarot decks. It's okay. It's okay. It's okay to be broke and go get a nice thing for yourself. But I don't think it would do much for my self esteem. And I think maybe that's where I start getting judgmental. Is like I cannot see constantly trying to get all of this shit and having any self esteem left. It's like Lisa collects decks. I collect fabric. It is what it is, and it's fine. But I only collect. I only do this within my ability to afford it. Sometimes I say no to myself on stuff. I'm gonna take that. There we go. Okay, I like that. The glue lets me pick it up and put it back down. I think maybe too. I think some of my judgmentalism comes from watching my sister. She couldn't deal with somebody having something that she didn't have. And it's like that doesn't make sense because most of the people that she was competing with, including me, didn't give a shit. It's like why is this bothering you so much that I moved after leaving my ex, I moved back to town and brought a computer with me. She immediately had to get a better one. And then a few years later, my computer dies, so I get another computer, and within a week, she had to upgrade her computer. Oh, our computer just died. It was just, she's literally said to me, oh, my computer just died, but don't worry. It was just a coincidence. I'm not competing with you. And it's like, the fact that you said that to me proves you were competing with me because I didn't care. It's like, why would I think that? And I kind of looked at her and goes, why would you say that? It's not like, that's not something I would think. Like, why would you say that? Oh, well, just because it's like, find out that, I think the turning point for me was, like I said, I haven't talked to my sister in 20 years, so I don't have to give a shit if she's offended or not. But um, I was basically living on welfare when the kids were young because I was a single, I never expected to be a single mom. I'm a single mom. I'm a single mom, and there were no babysitting subsidies where I came from. Single mom, no babysitting subsidies. For me to work, I would have been able to make about an extra $20 a week over what I was making just parking my ass on welfare until they were older. I did go back to work, but I waited till they were older. So that I waited till they were old enough that I didn't need a babysitter. Found a part-time job during school hours, that sort of thing, right? So basically, I'm living on nothing. My parents are broke, living. My dad's on a blind pension. My mom's a whole story all by herself because she wouldn't go back to work. He couldn't work and she wouldn't work. So they're living on a disability pension, which is about it's only about maybe a small tiny baby step ahead of welfare. My sister, her and her husband both work full time, 2 jobs. They own a house, borrowing money from them. I was so my sister and her husband borrowing money from my parents. I found this out. I forget exactly how I found out, but there was nothing had happened. My mother liked to make really shitty comments. There's a reason why she's not in my life either. And then one time she said to me, I'm so glad that you don't borrow money from us because I know you'd never pay it back. Okay. Thanks for that vote of confidence, right? And then I found out like a week later that my sister owed Now, $2,000 doesn't sound like a lot, but when you're on welfare, giving somebody $2,000, that's a lot of fucking money. Yeah, found out my sister owed my parents over $2,000, and borrowed from them regularly. Yeah. Well, you know what? I mean, whether or not they help the parents, that's a completely separate argument. But they were borrowing from my parents, and my mom had the nerve to look at me and go, "It's a good thing it's a good thing that you've never had to borrow from us because we know you'd never pay it back." It's like, why would I borrow from you? And then it comes out, oh, because your sister does, and she owes us a couple $1,000s. It's like, oh my god. I think that's where it started. She said something like, well, at least your sister pays us back or something. It's like, why would my sister be borrowing money from you? 2 jobs, her and her husband both working. It's like, yeah. They had a $50,000 line of credit on a house that was only worth about $100,000 even back then, maxed. I think that's, like I said, I think that's where I started losing. I don't know if I can say for my sister directly, but losing sympathy for the mindset. Losing a lot of sympathy for the mindset. You're borrowing money from people who can't afford to give it to you in order to make sure that you have all the newest and latest things. Come on, where'd it go? I've got a big mess. I gotta straighten up again. Okay. It's missing. It's officially missing unless it's in this bowl. It's not in here. I can't do that. Okay. Oh, it pulled up anyway. I had a loose. Yeah. Yep. At the very least, they shouldn't. Okay, you don't. Rule number one, you don't. Rule number one, if you're poor, you shouldn't. If you're poor, okay, my personal rules. If you can't afford to pay it back, then it is your job to make sure that you do your best to never need to borrow it. And the whole neither a borrower nor a lender be, right? Like, if I had like the one time, oh my god, the one time was absolutely hilarious. My kids felt like such heroes. Child support was late because for a while I was living on just child support. That was fun times. And again, I'm living on just child support because for me to go get a job, I'm going to be ahead $20 by the time I'm done paying for sitters and transit and all that other shit. And child support had just hit the account. Okay, back in the day, you know how money would show up, but it would take like 3 business days before you could access it or some ridiculous thing. And I forget what the deal was. Anyway, I borrowed like $5 from my kids to go get some milk. It's like, hey guys, child support hasn't shown up yet. Can I borrow $5? And they're like, they thought they were the biggest heroes in the whole world. Paid them back like the next day or something when the cash had cleared. But my God. But yeah, it was like, if you must borrow, don't borrow from somebody who's financially worse off than you are. That's just, I don't know. That's like a situational thing. A situational thing of, hey kids, remember that school fee? Yeah. Well, if you want milk. But and the funny thing is I only ever did that. I think I did it once. I forget, but yeah, they thought they felt so good, but they were good kids. They were really good kids. But no, people with money borrowing from people who have no money is just this. Yeah. So I don't know if this is normal, since instead of bitching about humanity, come on, are you gonna come with me? Stuck on something? I'm gonna give you vertigo for a second. I'm having quite a bit where it's like kind of doing this, and I'm not really. It's kind of trying to pull side to side. I think it's because of stitch. Okay, my guess. I'm just checking in case you happen to know. My guess is that no, we're not going to do that. Where's the second? Something clicked. I got to make sure it doesn't close the window again. Oh, shit. I've got a ways to go. I'm not going to be getting this done today. I'm assuming it's that jolting motion of the needle going dum, 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 because it's set on a triple stitch, which is going really, really well. I know a couple of these meanders are definitely me not paying attention, but a couple of these meanders, I'm not sure if that's just something that the machine tries to do when because the carriage it's barely visible. It's barely visible because the machine's going fast enough, but it's like doing this constantly because of the triple stitch that I've got it set on. I'm just wondering if there's an easy way. Okay, there's an easy way. Slow down. Yeah. Yeah, this isn't a full quilt though. This isn't that heavy. I know sometimes it's the weight of the quilt. For sure. I think I'm wondering, okay, like it's okay. It is the fact that it's meandering is going to have zero effect on how this is supposed to be. Like I said, I'm going to be coming in through here and making sure that it gets a nice rag quilt type effect. So if it's a little meandering and sloppy, it actually helps. Okay, it's not severe. It's not a severe, massive wandering here, but I'm just a little curious. I'm a little curious as to how much of an impact, because it's barely moving. It's barely doing this. Just a little curious as to where it's normal or whether I'm curious as to how normal. Okay, I know it's normal. And I'm pretty sure slowing down will get rid of this problem entirely. Just kind of curious if there's anything else obvious that might, like I said, heavy. I know it being heavy has a big impact. I was thinking of, I've got these sections here that are like I've sewn this already, and then this is like this. Oh, what the hell? I don't need the back stitch though. What am I doing here? Okay, well maybe I do need to back stitch. I can come back and fix that later. I don't care. I'm not concerned. It's a 2-second job. Nope. You are going to go like that. Just put it in the opposite direction. I don't care. Oh, that would be bad. I think I'm just going to spend the rest of the evening. Oh, I didn't do that side. I think I'm going to do this today. But yeah, I'll be finishing the rest of it. Okay. This is just going in the circle, going in a circle. This is just going in a circle, so I can finish that. This. I think we've already got the idea of what I'm doing, but I'm going to finish the rest of it later. I'm probably going to do it all online. I like doing projects online, so. Because I have a feeling that once I forgot, I skipped this one, so I got to backtrack and get it. I think once I get this done, it's going to be a very quick quilt otherwise. I might be back tomorrow. Okay, I got to backtrack and get this one because I skipped one ahead by mistake. I have a feeling I made a tactical error by not back stitching at all these points, but I can go back and do that later. Anyway, yeah. It's almost exactly 4:30. Lisa doesn't leave exactly on time, but I'm probably gonna also, we've got some erranding to do, so I'll be sewing right up until she's on her way at least. Yeah, see, for most of these, I'm going into that point and then over stitching it, so it shouldn't be doing anything. But I probably should have thrown at least 1 or 2 back stitches in. Okay, I already took that out, so I guess I'm not going to agonize about trying to put it back in. We have to go get creamer. Lisa's running out of creamer at work, and it's making her sad. She always takes her own. She always uses a fancy creamer because it's cheaper to use a fancy creamer than it is to be buying a Starbucks every day. Yeah, so this is what I'm looking at. This is what I'm looking like right now. This section here has all been sewn down. I'm going to come back. I'm basically going to come back later and just do the. I'm doing it. I am sewing down the tops, but I'm going to come back later and sew down the tops because that way I'm not trying to flip and turn this entire mass. It's letting me keep this nice and flat because I'm only moving a little bit at a time. If I try to move the entire mass, you know that something is going to flip under and get caught. Oh, you have to go to work. Oh, I will say this is one reason why I like doing what I'm doing. Well, there you go. You know what you do? You know what you do is that you steal my design because you're in the States. You steal my design, open an Etsy shop. I will fully endorse you. Who doesn't want to be working in their very own sweatshop 20 hours at a time? No, not 20 hours at a time. So I've just put that in the way now. I said I wasn't going to do that. I'm going to make sure it stays out of the way. This is doing really well. Okay, yeah, this is one of the ones. Yeah, and it dried clear like it said it would. Gonna stick again? No, now that it's dry, it's not gonna stick. Which is fine. But I've got the pins and I could always take it over and yeah, see these are, oh, you can't really tell because of the light, but like this one goes here and then this one's a little down, a little wonky. Definitely want that effect. There are I'm just calling this an explosion effect. I wish, you know what it is? I wish I was smart enough. Whoa, there's Jenny. How you been? What I need to do is start writing down what these effects are actually called. I was thinking about ironing them down and I wasn't sure. I could not remember when they said after you use a glue stick, I couldn't remember whether they said iron them or don't iron them. And I should have left the question up for you to answer. But yeah, I did not iron them down because I could not remember whether this is the first time I've ever used glue stick. So I could not remember whether the rule was iron it or don't iron it when you use a glue stick. So I just opted for not because I didn't want to wreck anything. But again, the way that this is going, it's okay. Pin them? You pin them? They are pinned. They're just pinned loosely. The glue is not really going anywhere except along the inside. And I have a knee lift too, which gives me 2 free hands. Yeah, I exploded it. Do you remember? Okay, you remember when I did the little moon and the house thing? And part of the effect is going to be that when it gets washed the first time, it's going to go like fluffy at the edges. And well, that's what this is supposed to do. So when it gets washed, it's going to look like an explosion. I don't know I don't know how it works on the live, but I think you can go right back to near the beginning and see what the intent is. But yeah, it looks like an explosion. A lot of this here will fray away. But I'm oh, my bobbin ran out. Yeah, I can hold it up. I can hold it up. Jenny hasn't seen it yet, I don't think. So and you might not be able, yeah, you can see it. Look what it is. It's an exploding Stonehenge. So I got them all done, pinned down, glued down, whatever. And now I'm just sewing. Now I'm sewing them. I'm sewing them this way and this way. I'll come back later and sew all this down. I'll come back later and sew all this down because that lets me move the fabric in a way that I'm not going to have things tangled up underneath, because you don't want this to fold under and then get sewn down. Okay. I got to get a new bobbin ready. Your timing blows though, Jenny. I'm just kind of getting ready to shut down for the rest of the day. Well, not yet. No, I think I'm just going to make a regular quilt out of it. I think I'm just going to make it a regular quilt and not worry about it. It's not going to be huge though. It's going to be, have you seen the crow quilt yet? I haven't seen you lately, and I cannot remember if you've seen my crow quilt. But you know, this is just going to be a nice little Stonehenge quilt. I've got a bunch of fabric that's from the actual set. Come on. Oh, no, we're not doing that. I've got a bunch of fabric, coordinated fabric, and we're going to turn it into something. I just haven't 100% decided yet. We'll get this done and see where are my scissors? They're there. Oh, you did see the crow quilt. Okay. Yeah, I haven't seen you in a while. It's confusing me. How you been? Funny, you're showing up just when poor Linda has to go. But no, I will be coming back. I will be coming back to do this on camera. I like the company. Ah, for fuck's sake. It snapped. It snapped. That goes in the for later bin. Couldn't figure out why why it wasn't doing it right, as the thread broke. I don't have to fix it because I'll just put that aside with other stuff for later. Now I'm going to trim that properly. Yeah, we're doing well. Pups are doing well. Yeah, this has been a nice quiet few weeks. I did the crow quilt, got that. I did another quilt. Oh, I did a quilt that you completely missed. I did a quilt that you completely haven't seen any of. Whoa, that's not, what the hell is going on here? That is not supposed to be happening. Don't worry. Don't worry. I got it. Yeah, you missed it. You, how dare you have a life? How dare you have a life that you prefer to live? God, I'm an asshole. I'll go get it. Just let me get this. We had a little bit of a, I don't know if it's the thread or just something wasn't quite lining up, but it was being stubborn. Let me get this machine redone. I needed another bobbin. That's not bad though, because this bobbin did over half of it, so I'll get the rest of it finished on one. Okay. Now, do I show Jenny right away, or do I torture her just a little bit more? Okay, we're gonna go like that. I'm gonna go get it. I'll get it in the short because I think you'll love it. Lisa loved it. I'm going to move the camera and then I'm going to put the chair in the way. How's that sound? Oh, it's a little shorter than I thought it was. Ah. There it is. There. So we have little mushroom houses across the top, a big panel going down the middle with a nice butterfly and a river scene. Up this side, we have a big mushroom house, 2 fairies in the woods, and a nice little tree. Little creasy in there because it's already been washed and it's in use. This is more butterflies and dragonflies. The unicorn and another mushroom house. And then the bottom is the mushroom houses again. Oh shoot. I totally forgot this. I turned the leftovers into that. I had to do it from memory, so I didn't get that lined up with the inside thing. But that's the other way to do the double hexagon thing. If Linda's still here to take a quick look at it, because it's the exact same thing I did to make the double one in the purples, but I flipped it and had the outside here then becomes the inside here. Yeah, that is. You remember the bigger one that I made? In the purples, and everything. All of this stayed on the outside. Well, this is how you flip it. To put one's on the outside and one's on the inside. Just in case that's something that's just in case I know you were interested in the other one, so just in case you're interested in a second way to do that pattern, because this is the prettier way. Yeah, that is really neat. The only thing I didn't do, because I'm doing it from memory, I looked for the pattern and I did it from memory. The only thing I did wrong is that I forgot to make an account. I forgot to take into account that the seam allowance up in the corner, when you get into the corners here, the seam allowance is different, it reacts differently than when it's on the outside. So the only thing that I would do is whatever measurement you do to match this up, make sure you take your seam allowance into account, and then you've got a really nice thing. So that I did too. That one turned out really well, and I was amazed. It was super easy, and I was super excited about the result. The three things down each side were actually part of a panel, so I only cut down the center and left the 3 attached. So all I had to do was attach the big piece and get that done. It worked out amazingly well. Okay, did I put my gloves in my pot? Where did I put my gloves? Right, my gloves. There they are. I'm not whining. What are you talking about? Anyway, yeah. So if you, I meant to grab that. It's like, oh, next time I'm live when Linda comes on, I'll have to make sure I have that handy to show her, because the one that I did before, you just did your first 5 here, your second 5 here, and that looks really good. But that looks even better. But yeah, lining them up, I forget how to line them up, which is a me problem. I'll have to practice. Anyway, so yeah, so all I'm doing right now, yeah, that little thing was gorgeous. I'm gonna grab, oh, pardon me. I'm gonna grab some scrappy material that was left over from that blanket. I also did a pillowcase for it too. I'm gonna grab some leftover fabric from whatever. I'm gonna grab some scrappy fabric. I have a little bit of the mushroom, because that's just little bits off the mushroom. Just I didn't worry about lining them all up the way I did on the other one. I lined everything up. This one I didn't, because I just want to see how it looked. But I'm gonna grab a more scrappy fabric that I'm less concerned about, and try again and see if I can get those interior pieces lined up properly. It still looks gorgeous, even if it's not lined up, but anyway, yeah, I'm really good for that. I'm really good for remembering all the things. As soon as somebody tells me that they're getting ready to leave, you know, I remembered 15 things. The whole idea behind this is for Jenny. She's just showed up. Oh, ugly blanket. Yeah, I'm still doing the ugly blanket. I've got about another 20 patches done, ready to go. I'm working on the ugly blanket patches just whenever I feel like sewing. I just had this idea yesterday, and it's like, as soon as I realized I could do it, it's like, I need to do it. I need to do it. I need to do it because the Stonehenge panel here, I've got more of them. It's like, I need to do this with a panel that I've got more than one of, so that if I fuck it up, I'm not going to cry. That you don't want to take your very last of something, and you don't want to FAFO with the very last of something that you have. At least I don't, because I don't. Okay, let's clarify. I would. I absolutely would. I would FAFO with anything, but since I do have multiples, it makes it easier. I've got it on a triple stitch, so it's taking a lot longer to stitch out, but instead of having to go over it multiple times to get this edging done, to make sure it doesn't well, no, I saw something somewhere, and I can't remember, and realized, oh, that would look really good in fabric. I cannot remember where I originally saw it, but it's like, I've got extra. Once I realized that I've got extra of these, it's like, I thought I only had like 2 left. I was like, oh, wait a second, I've got 3, because I've got at least 3. Here's a third one here, and I've got like 4 or 5 still on a bolt somewhere. So it's like, once I realized just how many I had, it's like, I can do this with a Stonehenge. Oh, the dust in the ears starting to kick up. I realized I could do it with the Stonehenge fabric and not feel too bad if it doesn't work out, because I've got more Stonehenge fabric. That one I had to move. So these are not, none of, I just started cutting. I didn't measure anything. So some of these are wide, some of them are narrow. That's intentional. And nothing's lined up perfectly, because I want it to have an explosion effect. I think that was my wife telling me to get my shoes on. Time is like, I think my time is up. I'm gonna finish this one. Actually, I guess I gotta go get the phone first. Just a second. Hi, baby girl. The hell is that? Haha, yep. I have been summoned, which is fine. I want to finish this one first, though. 4:54. I have until 4:54. I have until 4:50. Yeah. That was one thing I was thinking about, is the way that I could, because I could take this and I could leave that one and then I could go like that and cut instead of having just one big long one like that, I could cut it this way and then have this pulled away a little bit, cut it that way, have that pulled away. It depends on how many cuts you want to make because every single piece has to be sewn down. And what I'm sewing it down the same way that I sewed. I just had it out. Yeah. I'm sewing it down the same way I did this one. Only this one I went this one I have the machine set on a triple stitch. So as this one hasn't been washed yet, but once this one gets washed, this is going to go fuzzy all at the edges, right? So this is the same thing here. And yeah, I've got like twice as much. I think I might do another couple of ugly quilt blocks soon. See how they go. Now I want to get this done. But yeah, I can sew them. I can sew them down more or less carefully. I just want to make sure the whole. I just started this one. I want to make sure the whole thing is down. I could also measure them, do them. I could also do them properly and do some precision. I wanted this to look like an explosion. I wanted it to be random. Have some random elements. Could be a spider. Yeah. Oh yeah. What I would do for a spider web shape though is I think I would just get a like a piece of black fabric and get like white or yellow thread and then just sew it right on. Did I do? Yeah, like look what I did here. Those are just sewn on. The stars are just sewn on. So I could do that. I could just have a spider web right here. Draw it on with chalk or something and then just sew over everything. But no, this is actually going very well. I don't have that much left to do. I only got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 left, 7 left to do after this. So I've got 3/4 of it, almost 3/4 of it done. I'm just checking on the needles, the pins, making sure they're not going anywhere that they're not supposed to. It's not pinned down as much as it should be. It's not pinned down as much as it should be, but the randomness is a feature that I'm actually going for, so I don't mind. And then once this is done, this one here, once it's done, I'm going to be coming in and cutting intentionally just to make sure it does fray. The other one, that moon one, I'm not gonna trim it out. Yeah, it should. If you put the little snips there, then it guarantees that you get what's called a rag effect. Yeah, some of these are not the way I want. Well, no, they're fine. They're not going to look. I go, okay. Well, hi Jenny, bye Jenny, bye everybody else. I am going to get going. I'm going to finish up these when I'm back. When I come back, I'm going to finish up the rest of these, and then I'm going to be going along the top here because I do have to sew these parts down. It's just logistically easier to do it this way instead of flipping everything around, which I already explained 400 times, so that's okay. So I'm going to finish these and then go all the way around to get these tops. And I'm not sure that I'm going to do anything else with it tonight. Yes, it was great to see you stopping by. I was like asking Lisa just the other day. It's like, Jenny shows up to everything. Where is she? What's going on? Is she okay? But yeah, so then I get all of that done. Then I have to sit there. Then I have to sit there for like that. These have got a flatter tip too, so I can't. These have got a flat tip on the scissors, so I can't accidentally cut the seam. And just do that all the way around. Actually, I guess it's not going to be that bad. I just about got one done already. Then when it washes, yeah, it's going to be cool. And I can't wash it. If I wash it before continuing, then everything will shrink in a really weird way later. But anyway, I'm going to go, guys. If I can, now I've got to get to everything and not stab myself with a pin. I'm going to get going. I will see you guys later. Thanks for hanging out with me, and I will be back to work on this more soon. Okay, now I got to click all the buttons. Bye.